Welcome to another Friends Like Us Live. We are back. I am Marina Franklin, and this is
Evelyn Frick.
Yay! I was dancing in the rain, and that's why I got COVID. So yes, we are back, and Marina Franklin got COVID. And she doesn't sound like it, right?
No, you don't sound like it. I think that was like the most joyful way you could announce that you have COVID.
Yeah. Oh, my computer screen is like covering your face. I hate these pop-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it? Stop it. Go away.
Is it from Melon?
I don't know what it is. It's popping up. My computer, isn't my computer slow?
No, you're fine.
It won't go away, this screen. I could see your face from the sidebar. But it won't go away. I'm like, come on. It's telling me Ukraine pays tribute to Russian woman who fought on its side. That's what I'm getting. I got top 10 most popular Netflix movies right now and The Temperature, and it won't go away.
Huh.
Oh no, what did I do? Oh,
I'm still here.
I just spotlighted myself? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Hello.
Sorry.
No,
At some
you're fine.
point it'll go away, hopefully.
Yeah.
Please.
And if not, hopefully it just covers Juskow's face when he gets here.
I know, right? So yeah, well, tell me, Evelyn. We'll get into my dilemma, but how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, the last few weeks I've also done a little bit of traveling. My sister was visiting my parents last week, so I went to visit them as well, which was really nice. Yeah, and it's mainly for me just been gearing up for the Jewish high holidays are coming up. The Jewish New Year is it's a week and a half away. So yeah, I've just been figuring out what my girlfriend and I are going to do, in terms of services or celebrations or anything. And then also for work, I've been planning a comedy show that I'm going to be hosting. Also in about a week and a half.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be fun. Has a really fun lineup. So
Where's that
yeah,
going to be?
it's gonna be at Caveat, which is on the Lower East Side. It's a really great venue space. And we're gonna have Allison Levy in the lineup, who is great. She just finished a run doing a show at the Cherry Lane Theater.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a few folks from who just finished doing stuff at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Yeah,
And
so
not
it's
Marina
fun.
Franklin?
Well, it's an all Jewish lineup.
I
Is from
have
YJ.
12%.
I know.
I'm joking with you. I know. I gotta be fully loaded.
We do actually have one of the comics in the lineup, Lucas Arnold, actually is Black and Jewish. So there will be some representation in that way.
Black and tan.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, but I'm excited. It's gonna be. I've mostly been focused on comedy writing. The last few months I've not been doing performing that much at all. So I'm excited to do it. And hopefully this will be right. No, yeah, this is right before I get my COVID updated booster. So hopefully I do not get COVID from it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I wish I could see the comments, but you're gonna have to cover for me for a little bit because my screen is. I'm gonna do a little bit of a refresh, which may kick me out.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Sorry. But this thing is covering the comments. I can't see.
Weird.
I see TV going, no, so sorry. That's all I see. Yeah, TB also was backstage. We have a new feature on Patreon on Friends Like Us where you could go backstage and you can watch us during the recording. So TB saw
That's so
me
cool.
coming down with it in real time.
Oh no.
And I was in full denial. I was like, no, I don't have it. It's just allergies. It's that time of the year, the weather changing. By the way, that's what everyone is saying.
Well, you just don't want to believe it, especially if
Everyone,
you've gone
yeah.
this long.
Yeah, I've gone a long time, so it is super bizarre that I got it, like, but hey,
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. I'm going to be singing a lot. I'm
Yeah.
only human. I see there's 21 watching us. So what are the comments saying? This is your
Um,
chance. Oh, hi,
yeah.
Leah. I see my sister there.
Yeah, your sister's here. She says hello. TB says that they got their updated booster a week ago. That's great. Someone called 100% True, who I don't think I've ever seen them before, says, I love Evelyn's skin. So thank you.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's so
I
nice.
wish I could click it on and say, can you do it? Are you still a host?
No, I don't think I can.
Oh, God. I may have to refresh this. Hold on. We
Yeah.
may be back. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's still still live, and Marina's here. I feel like I'm.
Still
Hello.
here. Everyone's still here?
I think so.
Yeah. God, it won't go away. Ever since, you know what it is?
Mm,
Microsoft. This is
mm,
why their stock is plummeting.
mm.
Okay, I wanna say this, every time their stock plummets, I'm like, "Yeah, of course your stock is plummeting because you do these updates on your PCs and it ruins everything. It
Yeah.
ruins my life." So, like, right
No, it's so annoying.
I would take a screenshot so you can see, like, how I no, 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 you don't care about that. No, there's 34 people watching, maybe because now they see that I have COVID. So go ahead and finish with the people that are talking because I can't see them,
Yeah,
Evelyn.
no worries. Well, 100% True is asking, Marina, are you still into comedy?
What?
I know. It's a resounding yes. And Scooby Doofus, I don't think we've seen in a while, said Evelyn's kid does look good today, though, for real.
Yeah, it's shiny.
I put on like I'm wearing makeup and I put like a setting spray on after to see if it like holds up. And then Mr. says, yeah, that's 100% white woman there, and you nailed it, Mr. That is 100% true. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on in the comments as of right
Okay, I can
now.
scroll kinda and see. I see Marina caught the Omicron. I don't know what I caught. That's the funny thing. You don't
Yeah.
know. Um, but you do look amazing. I could kinda see. I could see half of you.
Nice.
I wish this I wish this little box would go away. It's so funny because I was playing Fortnite yesterday and which I shouldn't be admitting ever again.
Yeah.
Um, but I was playing Fortnite and it kept crashing after I did the computer did the update.
Hmm. That's so annoying. Yeah,
So
they like
sorry guys if I can't like get your comments in. Sorry. And I'm like, I have COVID, so I'm not perfect. So I will tell you all and good luck on your show. What date
Thank
is that again?
you. It's September 28th at 9:30. You can get tickets on Caveat's website, and I'll definitely shout it out at the end for people. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Very cool. That's September 28th. I forget. Oh, I would be doing a corporate gig. Yes, that's right.
That's fun.
Yes. So Evelyn knows this. I was in Michigan last weekend. And I've been calling it the dirty Michigan because that's where I got it. Obviously not everyone from Michigan is dirty. My sister and my sister grew up in Holland, Michigan. Leah is here. So not everybody. But I will say this, it was one of the toughest gigs I have had in a long time. It was not promoted well. It wasn't like attended well. Um, there was a lot. And then I got COVID from it. So there was a
Yeah.
lot that I just did not, I won't say any names, but I will say like I've had a promoter that I used to work with out there that was very good that I'm sadly enough I did not work.
Oh no. If you're in the comments, can you tell me, can you just see me? Is Marina also gone for all of you? Anyone? Disappeared? Yeah, okay, cool. That is what I thought. I'm assuming she'll probably be back in a second, or texting me about perhaps a new live stream link. That's okay. I can hold down the fort for now. Yeah, like a magician's trick, TB for sure. Mr. says that's ironic, but I hope you're okay. Yeah, I think Marina's doing pretty well. I mean, obviously you heard her singing, so I think it sounds like she's not too sick. But yeah, I mean, if you're just joining us, please say hello in the comments. Oh, hello, Tamara. I can see your comment as well. If you're new here, please tell us where you're live streaming in from. Usually, Marina is also here with me. I'm sure she will be back. Hello, Steph Britt. Much love from California. Where in California? That sounds lovely. Scooby Doofus is saying, drop some samples of your material while we wait. Well, actually, I did just have a piece that was released in the Weekly Humorist this week, which is a publication, a digital comedy humor satire publication. I co-wrote it with a friend of mine, Madeline Goetz, who actually works at Late Night with Seth Meyers. It was fun. So yeah, I definitely check it out. It's on the Weekly Humorist.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was totally vamping. So
Is it still live? Oh, it's
I
still
think
live.
so. Yeah, still going.
Wow, that's incredible. Hey
I
guys,
know.
sorry about that.
No.
But that thing is gone now. I can see you.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good.
We actually start at 3 anyway. So if you're like upset with me, don't be. You were during the tech run and you see now how difficult. It's just the world that we live in now.
Yeah, you got to see a behind the scenes moment. It's
I
very, very
forgot what
special.
you know what it was? It was Dirty Michigan coming
Oh,
for
yeah.
me because I was trashing them. I was trashing them,
That's
and
so
they were
funny.
like,
I
"Pow."
knew it.
Anyway, welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. If you didn't know why I do this every Saturday, except for when I'm on the road or things happen. It is on a Saturday. But I do this every Saturday to promote the podcast Friends Like Us, which is an actual podcast that is separate from this. This is not the podcast. This is just, me and Evelyn and Dave Juskow, who will be joining us soon here to talk and promote, which is an actual podcast, Friends Like Us, which is on all platforms. Now back to Michigan. So yes, it was one of those venues where I was just like, it was one of those gigs where everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Yeah.
And like there was Michigan, I was up against Nick Swartzen
Mm,
and Rob Schneider and
yeah.
Pete Lee, 3 white guys in Michigan
Yeah.
on a weekend, and I had no promotion at all. No TV, no radio promotion. I had to do, I could only do so much with my social media. So
Right.
and then on top of that, I was introduced. I didn't tell you this, Evelyn, but I
Mm.
was introduced on stage like this. First of all, the host on the Friday night, I won't say their name. Let's just call them Jumpin' Jack Flash. Okay. This is how they introduced me. First of all, they go, this is what they said to me. They go, "What's your name?" The host.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The host goes, "What's your name?" Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then they brought me on stage. They go, coming to the stage. Big surprise. Behind the curtains, welcome Kevin Hart, everybody.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then goes joking. Marina Franklin, she's coming to the stage. And I was like, now 20 something years in, this is the most disrespectful shit I've ever experienced in my life.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I handled it very calmly. I basically was like, that's all good. I'll start this over. I'll go on stage. It was a small audience. I could riff. I made
Yeah.
them play the music that they didn't have. You know, that music I like to dance
Oh,
to.
yeah. It's good.
Started it all over. Had a good time with the audience. Even told them, you know, this guy threw me under the bus, whatever. Everyone was like laughing. It was a great show. Afterwards, he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend you when I did that?" And I mean, it was classic man. That's all
Right.
I'm gonna
Right.
call it. Classic man is going, "Oh, I mean, well, I don't know. Like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't intend to." Kind of like Jimmy Kimmel. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mean to do that to you, right? That's like the
Yeah.
classic male apology.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, let me tell you. And then on top of that, the guy, when I was wearing a mask, who I will also remain nameless, while I was wearing a mask, goes, "Are you sick or something? Like, why are you wearing that?"
Oh, man.
Obvious, and actually, I was. So thank God I
Yeah.
was wearing the mask. But he was coughing the whole weekend. So I knew. I said 2 hours that about on stage because two shows, an hour each time.
Yeah.
I knew for sure I was like, there's no way I'm not getting it. There, I'm in no ventilation. I'm
Mm.
inside. You know, I've been traveling. My immune system is probably shot.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not, I'm staying in a hotel. I was like, I was wearing that mask. Nobody around me was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
No one. Everyone thought I was weird. I was still like changing the microphones out
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
still got it. And when I came back from Michigan, I traveled in with no sleep. So this is
Oh,
why I
no.
say this. I say this is really important that you hear this story because Marina Franklin, who wears a mask all the time, switches the microphones, does all that she can. This is where I slipped.
Mm.
My mask was kind of old,
Mm.
okay, because I was just reordered a bunch of new masks and I didn't have time. And I went from Michigan to New York City with no sleep to a outdoor dance festival and danced in the rain. So I was dancing in the rain. So I didn't give my body any chance to fight immune
Yeah.
wise. So I say that to say I did do some things I could have done better with. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't give my body a chance. Anyway, we're gonna let this monster in. Oh my god, I'm looking at the comments now. I can see just walk out and do some Kevin Hart jokes. I know I should have told him. I said, "Why don't you do it?" Yeah. Hello, Stace. I got COVID. You were right. Okay, let's see here. I haven't seen any of her comments. We're gonna add this monster to the show. David, just kill everybody. Woo!
That story really bothers the hell out of me. Thank you. That
What?
story is really tough to swallow. It's
Oh,
really
watch
uncool.
yourself. Oh yeah, what the person did to me, right?
I still can't believe it. It's I'm so angry, and I wish you would let me just travel with you and take care of these things
I
because
know it was so disrespectful on so many levels. I was just
you know I travel with Rachel a lot. Hi, Tibby, and with you, and of course, and Sarah, and they tell me many times those kind of things wouldn't happen if they were men, and I believe them because I've never seen it happen to Attell or Jeff Ross or anybody else. But it happens to, all right, maybe not. Well, no, it does happen to Sarah. There were certain things, like when we were on tour with her, that they would not ask a boy, and it's very obvious. And
yeah.
it's really annoying, and you don't have anybody to travel with, And that's why Rachel a lot of times will bring her husband or a boyfriend at the time, because yeah, traveling alone as a woman in comedy has got to be crazy difficult and
Yeah.
really a little nerve-wracking, let alone all the weird radio people you meet along the way. I know you didn't do any promotion this time, but normally there's radio involved, and those people who don't live, well, it doesn't matter where they live. Anybody that's still on radio is weird. So those people are crazy. I mean, again, I've seen it with the people I'm with women, especially Rachel is the one I travel with the most. And I was like, how do you do this when you're alone? How do you deal with this guy's clearly hitting on you, and it's creepy? And then they come by the club later and it's weird.
Yeah, it definitely is a male moment. Like it was the guy who did it. And
Hi,
you know,
Catalina.
a lot of times you also get gaslit in these moments. Like this is obviously bad, right? But I remember telling someone the situation and they were like, "Oh, we haven't had any problems with anyone else."
Oh, that's so annoying. Just like in the Asbury Park one too.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I'm like, "Can you not tell me how you didn't have like how am I supposed to respond to no one else gave us a problem?" That is basically like saying we don't believe you and it's just you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. And I feel like in this day and age, like why you would even fix your mouth to say something like that? Like, do you not pay attention? Have you not been watching? Do you not know what the word gaslit is? Like,
And you know what else, Marina, is the guy that was opening for you or whatever. This is really insulting to me, or Evelyn especially, who would kill to open for somebody at a situation like that, a big venue like that. And all I've heard from people that are doing that kind of stuff, and I see it on Instagram all the time, is that they're just idiots and they don't know how to handle themselves or conduct themselves. And I'm not exactly sure how they get these gigs.
well, because and I watched him on stage. He was extremely, and this is the thing that I always take into consideration so I don't like, chop someone's head off completely, is that they have no skills. They usually lack in talent and they lack in material, and they cover it up by doing like real douchey stuff like this. So I knew that, and I could tell when he was on stage, he had no material. He had nothing to say. And he's probably done, and this is, I hate to, be broadcasting like, black people know news and they not here with me to talk about him. I'm doing it with my wife friends. But this was a black comedian, and in the black circuit, a lot of this does go down quite often, because if you're not frequently in the black circuit, which I'm mainstream, right? I don't do like just the black scene or just one scene. I do mainstream. So if you're not like, you know, like known to be in that circuit, they don't have respect for you. Or it's also like that crabs in a barrel mentality of real fighting and very like disrespectful shit that goes down.
And you know what? It gets
And
worse.
that's why I just never took to that scene, because I just couldn't handle the fighting.
And that's the worst part, Marina. I've seen it happen to you at the Comedy Cellar alone, between your friends who might happen to be black, and they treat you differently. This is years ago that I would see it, and they treat you differently than they would treat another woman because you're black. I felt, and I think you might have even mentioned it once, or somebody mentioned it to me, the disrespect in a way, and them not baiting you and saying you're not doing it the right way is, but there's probably better words to say.
Mhm.
But being upset with you for being mainstream. I've seen it happen to you.
Oh yes, it's
Yeah.
jealousy.
Well,
Crabs
yeah,
in a
and that's
barrel.
all
That's
it
what it
is.
is.
That's
It's
all it
like
comes down to. You're
you
absolutely right.
can't.
Jealousy.
Only it's got to be one. I had my
Yep.
uncle text me. He goes, "I really hope you're not beefing with these other comics like I'm seeing." Like my uncle really only watches the black comedians. So he's seeing there's something. I know, like a lot of times my family's like, you do comedy too. So I'm like, yes. But he was talking about there's some fighting going on right now, real fighting between comics going on. He's on a level that he said he's worried about, like rappers. You know, how rappers get to a point where they start fighting and then someone ends up dead, right?
Right.
So he's like, I really hope you're not, having. I was like, well, in one way, it's not affecting me because I'm not in that scene, so I don't even know, about it. I'm not in just that scene. When I've done, and I can do black rooms, I can do black audience. The misconception is that if you just do mainstream, you can't do a black audience. Not true. Not true for me. But if there's a certain type of energy that a certain show brings, sure, I'd have to adjust for that show. And if I don't do it that often, it takes me a while to get that rhythm, whatever. No. But yeah, in that scene, there's so much fighting that's still going on to this day. I don't understand.
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
mostly young comics. There's like young rappers.
it's
I don't
older
think
too.
nobody's gonna kill Ice-T.
No, these are old. This is actually what's going on right now is between like an older comic who's I don't want to say because I don't want to get put in
Well,
it.
like somebody like my age or older in their 30s.
Someone your age, yeah. But I can't really go into it because I don't want to get dragged into their stuff. But I will say, like, a lot of that was happening this weekend. I felt like there was a lot of disrespect on that level. Like, we don't know her because she doesn't do this scene.
I still can't even believe the disrespect. And I've told you, I want you to change your agent or manager, whoever is pulling this shit where they're like, and how do you spell your name again or pronounce your name again? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Oh,
It's
he's yelling at them.
Is he?
Yeah.
Or is he telling you he's doing that?
Yeah, he's yelling at them.
Okay.
He's on it. He was with me the whole weekend. I will say the best thing to come out of it was COVID. No. But it was just like it was such a weekend where I was exhausted. I because that incubation period of COVID. So I was actually tired. You have my symptoms were like by Saturday. You know how you feel like something's coming on, but you're not sure?
Yeah.
And the way something's coming on is you just don't want to do things with people. You're like, I kind of don't want to do this. I don't know why, but I just don't feel up for it. And I didn't have like a headache or anything, but I knew I was tired on Saturday. And I said, oh, something's not right. And then on Sunday, I felt tired, but it was because I hadn't slept. So I thought, okay, well, I hadn't slept, so I'm just tired from that. So I didn't think. And then Monday, I was like, ooh, this is starting to feel like sinus infection.
Shit.
And then on Tuesday, was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday was when I really started to feel like, my sinuses and everything. And I think, oh yeah, Stace, you were on the podcast, so you saw me by Wednesday, didn't you? When I was recording, Stace goes, "You sure you don't have COVID?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm fine. Remember that, Stace?" And I was like, everything's good. But then afterwards, I took a test, and the line was so like faded, and it was weird because I took the test, and I really didn't think I had it because I took the test on a Monday, nothing. Took the test on Wednesday. Look, Stacey's saying I sounded stuffy. Took the test on Wednesday. Didn't think anything of it. Got on the phone, talked to my friend for maybe 20 minutes to an hour. I just happened to look over at the test and I saw that little faded line, the second one. And I was like, wait, hold on. I got to get off the phone. And then I took another test.
Yeah. Just
to be sure. And that test, the second line popped up like, bitch, I said you got this shit. It came out so strong. It was so bold. I was like, okay, all right.
Like, okay, I have it.
I got it.
That's so
funny. I say all this to you because I think it's important that you all know that it does take some time for it to, when you test, I think a lot of people aren't testing anymore. But if you do test, it takes a while for it to pop up. And it takes a while for it in your body and in your system to fully become, symptoms.
Yeah.
So I am on Paxlovid, and that is why I'm like I am today. I am feeling pretty good.
And why she's going to catch it again next week.
I hope
Well, the
not.
thing-
I talked to
That
Noam.
stuff
Noam
does.
said
That's what that stuff does. You have a rebound.
Noam
Or
said
whatever
he
they call it.
didn't have a rebound.
Who said that?
Noam.
Yeah, well, Noam's the only one I know. I've heard from 5 people, and they get it again.
Mm.
I
I
mean,
think
you're pretty
part of it is
careful,
that like
so-
they're not like fully like I wonder if part of it is that like they take the Paxlovid and then don't like fully like rest. And think they can like keep working and stuff, and then that way like the virus doesn't like fully get out of the system. I feel like if you take it and like actually like rest.
Yeah, you have everyone's different, and you're absolutely right, Evelyn. I was thinking that you don't take Paxlovid and then go out like hardcore. You also have to like take care of yourself. So I kind of know like taking it, resting, doing all the things that I need to do. We'll see. I'm the experiment. We'll see.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, though, when you get that feeling like something's coming on. And I told you, we talked yesterday, and I told you I had a splitting headache for the past 3 days, which I think stems from going on a probiotic for 10 days, and it didn't work. And so I went off of it, and I think it stemmed. And, my cousin goes, "Hey, do you want to go to the Mets game?" And that's when I was starting to feel, I'm like, I can't picture being in a large crowd right now. I think it would really bother my head. And then I knew something was really wrong.
Catalina says she's still scared of COVID. Hopefully I won't catch it anytime soon.
That's because she lives in a third world country.
Where's she?
I don't have any medicine. She lives in Chile.
You know what, Catalina? I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize for him. But I will say, Catalina, don't be afraid. Okay. It's if you're vaccinated, you really just it's like flu. Okay. You will she's laughing. Good for you laughing at this evil man. But it is like the flu. So
well, I did what you told me, and I took the test too. I don't know whether I told you I took the test yesterday. Maybe it was after we talked.
You don't have symptoms, so it's not going to show up.
I got nervous that maybe I did, and I went to the diner yesterday. I'm like, you know what? Let me take the test.
At the diner, you took the test at the diner in front of people.
No. Before I went to the diner, so I wouldn't spread it around. I was afraid
hilarious though.
because
You
it
were
lasted
just like,
for so
you were
long.
just swirling at the diner table at the, like at the
No.
bar getting coffee.
No, I did it before I went to the diner, so I wouldn't infect anybody else. I was nervous because normally, I thought I was going to be in, but I wanted to go to the diner, so I tested, and it was completely clean. So I didn't want to spread it if I.
What I
did
would
have
give
it.
to see you testing at the
I
diner.
know.
There is, Evelyn. There's something about
Nice.
there's a power that you have when you have COVID. I'm not gonna lie. This
Really?
the worst evil thoughts I've had about people I don't like. There's like, because you are. Like, this is why I'm like amazed that people aren't wearing masks inside. I'm like, now that I have COVID, I'm like really
Don't you be preachy anymore. You caught it.
Oh no, I'm so preachy still.
You can't be preachy anymore.
Well,
It's over for you.
absolutely. I absolutely
over.
will be. Nope. I will,
You
because let
caught
me
it.
tell you
Remember,
something.
that's why I was so angry at
No,
you.
because let me tell you something. Now I know for a fact you should be wearing a mask, because I
absolutely.
know the places that I could have gone that I didn't go to, like the farmer's market today that I didn't go to because I have COVID, but I could have. Who's going to ask me? There's no one checking me. There's no one checking me in a drugstore. There's no one going, "Hey, do you have COVID?"
Well,
no one's checking.
I would assume somebody like you would self-quarantine.
Well, this is my point.
But not everyone is.
Not
I
everyone
guess
is.
you're right. There's nobody's regulating, right?
No, this
No.
is my point. Like, you're out of your mind if you're going places without a mask, because there's a lot of people who are not like Marina Franklin who don't give a fuck. Sorry, and
Or
they're not
respectful
testing.
to others.
They don't give a fuck,
general.
and they're not testing themselves, and they think they have like a little allergy. So when I say like now wear your mask, like where if you, because I lost at least $600 to $700 this week because I have COVID.
Mm,
That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money.
Well, I guess for you kids.
listen, if you don't care about being sick, at least I know people care about money and losing work. I
That means
know
nothing to a
that.
guy like me. I rip up $20 bills. You know what it is? It's fascination, Marina. It's fascination.
Oh,
What is it? Paper.
please.
It's fascination.
We heard you
Means nothing to
crying
me.
about your bills for months.
Shut up. I was doing that's from Broadway Danny Rose. Remember when they were ripping up the Italian guys were ripping up the money? What is it? It's a fascination. It means nothing.
But
that was a great scene.
Even if you're not worried about COVID anymore, like if you live in New York City, like polio is now in New York City again.
I can't even believe there's
well,
so
polio.
many
That's
assholes.
the kids though.
That's it. Yeah, it's the kids. But like, they don't like.
I just can't believe it
Doctors
came
are
back
saying that
because-
if you were vaccinated as a kid, you should be fine. But there isn't really testing to know that that's like absolutely true.
I just can't believe there are assholes. The reason it's back, this is why Neil Young is so angry. He had polio as a kid. They got rid of it because everybody was getting vaccinated. Then there are all these assholes that say, I don't want to get vaccinated, and now it's back. It's unbelievably
when I tell
selfish.
people that I'm vaccinated, I still have people in my life who go, "Ooh, you got that stuff in you?"
You mean for what? For COVID?
Ugh.
Well, I know everybody's weird about that, but the ones that we got as kids, the polio and the smallpox and all that stuff, it didn't exist until all of a sudden where people just started not vaccinating, thanks to who's that girl from MTV, Jenny McCarthy.
Yes.
Right? All of a sudden said the vaccinations caused my kids autism.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, there wasn't over.
Mister, she told me it was a third world. I thought it was second world.
Yeah, I hear you, Catalina. Getting tired of wearing the mask. I understand it. I got tired of it. And to be honest, I was a little, like I said, in this last weekend, I was a little sloppy with it. So a lot of people that I know who claim to have been really good and then finally get it, they don't admit to this stuff. I will tell you that my mask it looked like it had a bad day, and I had ordered a few masks, but it was coming in to New York City and I didn't get a chance to get a really good one before heading out to Michigan. So I would say that mask probably wasn't doing a great job.
I will always wear a mask on the subway from now on. That's for sure.
You should wear a mask when you're inside.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wear a mask inside. I don't
What
care.
is
It
the
doesn't bother me, but the subway is
difference?
disgusting and people are gross. And I wish I had known about a mask.
The people you work
in the
with are
80s.
gross.
What? The people I work with?
You know that guy who always asks you if you want bacon or sausage? That guy's gross.
No, that guy's awesome. But he wears a mask.
Really, the only difference is that the
cafeteria people wear
subway
masks.
is
Let
like
Evelyn
very visibly dirty, but like
And it's all enclosed.
Let Evelyn talk.
But the like aerosols that are in the air, like in an enclosed office building or any enclosed space, really are not that different from what's enclosed in the subway. Like they're the same germs and bacteria and viruses that are in the air.
But the people on the subway are gross, and the people in my office are well groomed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they still can be spreading stuff.
It feels like they shower.
That's not going to take away COVID if they have it.
Like I said, and because since COVID, working in an office is different. It's not the way it used to be. I'm by myself. Nobody comes to work anymore.
But I am saying, like, even outside of like the office space, like in restaurants, in like movie theaters or just theaters, comedy clubs.
I agree with the movie theaters and the theater because you can just hear people coughing all the time and that kind of stuff. But
they cough in your office, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. But I don't know.
What's the difference?
You know what the difference is? The difference is for some reason in the subway, I feel in my head I'm going to catch something there. And I felt that way for years. And for some reason in my head, in the office, the restaurant, I don't feel that way. In the movie theater, I totally feel that way. So I guess, it's just the way I, for some reason, perceive how I'm going to catch a germ.
We all have I call it calculated risks, right? Like for example, I'm not gonna not work. I'm not gonna not go on stage. I have to make money. I have to get back to life.
There it is, Mike.
So I have to do that. I have to get back to life, and I have to do the work. And I pretty much for myself, I said, if I catch COVID, this is kind of what it is, because I am an entertainer that goes on stage in an
Yeah.
enclosed room, and I have to take off the mask to perform.
When you say
So
entertainment,
measured, not calculated risk, measured risks. Calculated
Yeah.
risks mean that I plan the risk. Measured
Yeah. Yeah.
risks.
There
So
you
when
go.
I make money, so like Dave, you're making a measured risks, okay? So good luck to you. We'll be here for you. Uh
Has that
yes.
affected, like, has getting COVID, like, presumably from the road, like, affected, like, wanting to take more road, like, gigs? Because I know, like, you have some, like,
I
road
have.
gigs coming up.
Yeah, no, I've just kind of let it go. I mean, like, there's nothing I can do. Like a year ago, I would have been like, no.
Yeah.
But now it's like this is what I do for a living. I can't keep saying no to work. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to make money. And like I'm going on the road with
yeah.
Sarah Silverman and friends. It's to St. Louis. And I had to think about, now that I actually have this boost. This is like the booster, right? This
Yeah.
is my question to all of you. Does anyone know how long I have to wait to get the booster now that I have it? Do you know?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And how come that information isn't readily available? Like, how come I just don't know that? Like, everyone is getting COVID, and that should be out there.
Yeah.
With the conversation of getting the booster, they should always say, and if you like, they're acting like no one's getting COVID.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a problem that I kind of encountered with my girlfriend and I got the monkeypox vaccine, or at least the first dose of it. And like, I didn't know that you have to wait 4 weeks from getting the monkeypox vaccine to getting like a COVID booster dose. So, I mean, I
Oh,
got it 3-ish weeks ago now. So I'm getting my COVID booster next week. But like, no one like at the vac site told me that, which I mean, like, I would have gotten it anyway, but I just didn't, like, if I hadn't like took the time to like look that up myself, I, you know, would have just gone and gotten it, which I don't think there are like any huge risks associated, but still you don't know. That's why they say to wait 4 weeks.
it's crazy how much they don't. You really have to, as a citizen, you got to really work hard. Even when I got this is what Paxlovid looks like. It's like, you see
Oh, those are
this?
big.
Yeah, they're horse pills. So these are the 3 that I took this morning, and then these are the 3 that I take at night. You see, they separate
Wow.
it so they make it look like morning and night,
Mm.
and they're very nasty. And they come back. The taste of the pill kind of comes back up.
Ugh,
Yeah, like
that's
so the first time
terrible.
yes, it was, and so like the first time I took it, like in midnight, I tasted the pill, so I had to eat some caramel candy to get rid of it. That was fun. But I will say, like, the nurse interviews you before they prescribe it to you. And this is what she said to me. Are you on liver medicine? No. Are you on any heart medicine? No. Any blood thinners? No. I did tell her I take herbal medicine that my doctor gives me, but I don't know what's in it. And she didn't say, well, stop taking it. She didn't
Yeah.
say that. She didn't say that. She just laughed. She goes, and
Oh my gosh.
St. John's wort is one of those herbal things that you can't take with this.
Oh.
It's really, if you really got to read this, and you just don't. And then in the directions it says, and guess what? We also don't really know because it's new. That's in the directions. It
Love
says the
that.
guy going, good luck.
Yeah.
So, you know, you really, really gotta like pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess like you can feel like a little bit better knowing they gave it to Biden, because they're not going to give it to him if it's not, like if they don't have confidence in it. But
That is exactly what I thought today. I was like, ooh, yes. But the thing is, you want to avoid infection. So that is also why I took it, because
yeah.
even if it does come back, you want to avoid the infection, which could still happen
Mm,
if you have low immune system, or if you've had cancer, or if you've had diabetes, or any of those things. If you are at risk of it becoming something else, I think you should take Paxlovid, but it's up to
yeah.
you. So Juskow, what's been going on with you this week besides, your little headache?
Well, it's like keeps coming back. It's like now it's in the back of my head. I don't know what it is. I saw my doorman today, and he was out yesterday, and he said, "Oh, I was a mess. I had a sinus headache," and I'm like, maybe that's what I have. I don't know. I mean, he had the same thing I had. I don't
Everyone
know.
has COVID. I'm telling you, y'all got it.
Right.
Y'all got it.
Probably the test that I have isn't a new strain
expire.
or something. And
The tests expire too.
yeah, oh maybe. But I don't know. Like, I mean, it was
They also
so
take longer to show up on the tests now.
I mean, I thought COVID had certain symptoms, shortness of breath and all that kind of stuff, but I don't have any of that. Just
Well,
a
it's just
headache.
it's mutated so much, and also like
Yeah.
it affects people differently.
Yeah, but isn't it just a cold, like you said at this point? I mean, it's just a cold. It's not
flu. It's here's the thing. From everyone I know and from what I know, unless I had taken this Paxlovid, I did feel like I was somewhat drowning in it. Like I had muscle aches, fatigue, cough.
that's a flu, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like I couldn't get up and out.
And the only reason I know about that, the only reason I know, because I've never had the flu, like I don't catch the flu, is when they shot me up with the thing, and I had it, technically COVID or the flu for 12 hours, when they shoot you with the vaccine. And then I felt what it was like you're talking about, that you can't get up, and I don't know how I'll ever move again. And it's devastating. I've never had the flu.
It really it sucks. Like Mr. is saying, he got really, really sick and it lasted for 2 months. I spoke to a comic who I could say Rory Scovel was telling me, he said he was just like in his own when you're so sick, you're in your own sweat.
Yeah.
And he said he knew that, especially for the long haulers, like he goes, if I had this any longer, he goes, I would want to end my life. He goes, that's how bad it was. He had such an intense sore throat. So people do get really, really sick.
Well, I remember
my friend Isis got it, and she called me crying.
Jeff Ross was saying the same thing when he had it. He had a really, really bad case of it, and every time he would laugh, which would happen a lot, or it was painful, or because he was coughing so much that it became really painful. He said it was a horrible experience.
Yeah, it's not something you want to go through, but let me tell you something. I think we're all gonna get it at some point. So
not me.
Do your best. Well, you'll never test. That's how we know you'll never get it.
I just tested yesterday, okay?
You're not testing the right way.
What?
You're not. I know you. You're probably like eating Pop-Tarts and you probably got crumbs in it.
I did have a Pop-Tart before I took it, but that is not. See? But I took it in a different location. I don't know how you guessed that it was a Pop-Tart, but
because I know you.
It was. I ate that in my kitchen, and I tested in my living room.
I could see you, dummy, just in your kitchen, just smiling with toasting a Pop-Tart while you're preparing your little COVID test.
I usually just eat them without toasting them.
See, Mr. said I did feel like I was gonna die in my sleep or something. It's no joke, man.
I felt that way today, and it's like I couldn't sleep at all, and I haven't been able to sleep in a while.
Thank you,
but
Stace.
You start thinking it's a brain tumor, and then good luck sleeping after that.
Our country health department says wait 2 months after being infected with COVID to get the Omicron booster. Thank you, Stace. God, thank you. I didn't know. Where did you find that? I have stopped really reading on this stuff, so thank you so much.
That's what they said early on. You had to wait a while if you had it to get the booster.
Yeah, a while. What's a while?
Yeah. Well, I
2
don't know.
2 months is very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. You want it. I guess you want it out of your system before you put it back in your system.
Yeah, because I guess you'll have some sort of natural immunity to it for a certain amount of time. But
I'm not getting any more boosters. I'm done.
But this one's for Omicron.
Yeah, but then they'll be for something else. So I think I'm good.
Unless
it's required, I'm good. I'm good. I don't get the flu shot. I don't get anything because I don't catch the flu. I told you.
Okay, Elizabeth is saying 3 months. Elizabeth, where are you?
She's in Canada.
Oh, okay. So
Hi,
3
Liz.
months for Canada. Okay.
Canada's got it going on. So I don't know if you heard, but they're still pretty serious about it, which is way cool. And if for some reason the Mets, the New York Mets, I know this is sports, you don't care, but it'll happen. If they end up playing the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series, half the Mets won't be able to go to play in the World
Are
Series
the Mets not
because
vaccinated?
they're not fully vaccinated.
Oh.
No, there's like maybe 70%, but
I
there's a
could
couple
not
of people that
imagine
aren't.
getting this and being unvaccinated.
The
Mm-mm.
problem is, I guess when it comes to athletes, I guess they're pretty, besides the steroid era, they're pretty serious about what they put in their body. I think it comes down to that. That's the only thing I can come up with because, why you wouldn't want to get it, especially when you lose out on a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know.
Oh, because of the steroids.
But I do think there is something about that. Yeah.
Oh, the steroids you can't have COVID and steroids. I mean, you can't have vaccination and steroids.
No, you're not allowed. I mean, steroids was a thing, and now they're very careful about what because they don't. I think they test for that a lot, and they're also athletes, and they're sculpted,
I'm not buying
they
it.
do
But it
care what
doesn't.
they
It
put in their
really does
body.
not affect.
But they're also
body.
stupid. They're athletes.
Right? Yeah.
They are not bright people. They know how to play a sport, and then once they
Sure.
reach
That's
40,
not
they don't know
true.
what they do with their life
A
unless
lot of them
they
are
make
smart.
multi-million
LeBron James
dollars
is smart.
Who is?
LeBron is very smart. That's the only one I know.
LeBron didn't even go to college. I agree, LeBron
That
is
doesn't
smart.
that doesn't mean he's not
I'm
smart.
just pointing
College
out.
has nothing to do with brightness.
Well, it
No.
has
Let
a
me
lot
tell
to do
you,
with it.
I know a lot of dummies that went to college that
I'm
are
just
doing
saying, I
nothing with
don't
their
think
lives.
LeBron James is not smart. He comes off as extremely bright. But I'm also saying he didn't go to college because he went right to the NBA, as did Kobe. And but those guys they seem very bright, unless you're stupid enough to tell the
Speaking of
helicopter
dummies,
pilot that
how
you want to
about
go through the fog. But other than that, most athletes are pretty stupid because what are they doing? They're not studying. They're studying the playbook.
well, that's okay.
But
So
they sure are handsome and tall. Boy, I never thought baseball players were like that. I met who's that really good who plays for the Yankees, but he stinks now. He was playing for the Marlins. Well, you guys must know. Boy, was he tall and handsome.
All I can think of
Can't think
the
of
guy
his
that played for
name.
the Marlins. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name, but I think he still plays for the Brewers.
Well, the best guy in the Marlins is now on the Yankees, but he's always injured, and he hasn't lived up. But we met him with the Mets. Jeff actually took me, and we went and we met him, and he was so cool. But they're so tall. You just don't expect baseball players to be.
Oh, Giancarlo
so,
Stanton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton. It's so sweet and handsome but tall and built. It's like that's not the way we pictured baseball players growing up. Basketball players are tall, football players are big, but now baseball players are just as big as any other athlete.
Just your type, huh? Just
Oh yeah.
look
Just like
at
what
him
Rachel
just
says about the
describing what he
firefighters.
likes.
Yeah. Like when Rachel makes fun of me for being in the firehouse and being so attracted to those guys.
There was one guy, there was a picture that she recently took of the fire guys. I'm going to try to show you real fast what I sent it to her because I was like, this guy definitely, because September 11th just passed. I don't think we hopped on here during that time.
No.
And
okay, I'll just tell you one other thing now.
Yes,
you
please.
Like this. I was watching the Bob Costas show on HBO, which is a really, really interesting show. He talks a lot about racial issues in sports, and it's really, really entertaining. He does a show about once every other month. And he had Nick Saban on, who is the coach of Alabama, like a very, very prominent coach. And he made sure during COVID, he was one of the only teams 100% vaccinated and 90%
Oh, that's
boosted.
right.
And it's very impressive.
That was really impressive.
You did tell
And they
me
were
that.
asking him about that. Oh yeah, I told you that on the phone the other day because I had just seen it and I was like really impressed by it. Because remember, he's the coach in Alabama.
Yeah.
And that's why Costas brought it up. He's like, I gotta say that's very impressive. We know it's a red state, and that's that. How did you do that? And he goes, I just felt. Oh, that's She took a picture of the recruits or something.
Yeah, and I said, "This guy looks like he has said the N-word a
Yeah,
1,000
right.
times." I go, I go, Rach, this is who you hang out
Absolutely.
with? This guy looks like he hits N-word on the regular.
Well, those weren't the
Look at
guys
look
that
at
I
that
was.
face.
Those weren't the guys that I met.
Look at that face. There is nothing in that face that hasn't said the N-word.
Agreed.
You know, when
He's
I
definitely from
profile
Staten
people, I
Island.
profile them like that. I go, if you think you're fooling anyone, I guarantee you, saying the N-word and being and I don't know if he is, but saying it and being racist, it takes shape in your face. I'm telling you, this guy hits it hard.
I
Anyway,
agree with that.
yeah, I was like, woo, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
It's
And
funny.
Rachel was dying. She was like, oh God. Anyway,
Evelyn, did your
how are
power
you
go out?
feeling about the Queen, everyone?
I miss her already.
I'm not that bothered by it. I mean, she was old.
Listen,
No one cares.
Black Twitter went in on,
Twitter.
yes, they did, because it's like, okay, we all are sad when someone passes in respect for the passing of the Queen. But here's the thing. The reality of it is that, colonizers, this is a whole part. There's Jamaica, there's Ireland, there's a lot of people, and this didn't predate her existence. She was part of it.
Right.
So, let's not pretend, okay? I'm just as fascinated by that royal stuff as anyone, but I'm also not delusional about
Yeah.
it. So, you keep it all into perspective. I'm not standing in line for 24 hours to see a colonizer. I'm
No.
sorry, not me.
That's weird.
But, I understand everyone else who wants to stand in line and do that. That's your culture, and that's
I
your
stood in line for Ronald Reagan.
yeah,
did?
no. Did you bring a block of cheese with you? Let me tell you something about also that line. Where are the bathrooms for people who have to Beckham? I think he stood in line.
He stood in line for a
too.
long time. Yeah.
He did.
14 hours, I think.
Yeah, he stood in line for a long time.
Beckham stood in line. Stood
Mhm.
in line.
Yeah.
He didn't get. He just didn't get a passage.
He
Wow.
wanted to be amongst the people.
That is goddamn impressive.
He wanted to be amongst the people doing it, and that is impressive. But where did he go to the bathroom?
I don't know,
Where
but
where are the
beloved.
stalls?
He is
That's-
beloved. They even mention him in Love Actually.
No, answer this for me. Where's the bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know.
How do they do that? It has to smell over there.
It's nobody over 40. So they don't.
No, there's nothing but over 40.
Yeah, it's all over 40.
They said
I don't
some
know,
people passing
they're-
out in line.
They're different over there. They don't need to go to the bathroom. They're very stuffy.
The way they talk about eating,
They would have to go to the loo. It's very proper.
the way they talked about eating their food and stuff. Well, I think he mentioned something like, he was womping on some chips. How do they say things so different?
It's
Crisps.
so weird.
It was womping on some chips and some beer.
It's beautiful. I told you that's why I started drinking that probiotic. I saw it on the British commercial on the channel, and it seemed like everything they're saying sounds right. That fucking accent, it's really annoying.
Where's the toilet?
Where's the loo?
eat that. Come
I've
on.
got to go to the loo then.
Did Lois have any thoughts about the Queen's passing? Because I know a lot of Irish people were.
They didn't care for her.
They were very happy.
Yeah.
She wasn't happy. She was very respectful, like me. Like, it's kind of like one of those things, like, you don't want to trash anyone in the moment of passing or
Yeah.
death, because there are people around that person who are sad. So there is a respect for death and the
Yeah.
passing of a time and era, right?
Mhm.
However, she puts into perspective of, I have nothing for that monarchy, because I have seen what they did to Ireland. I have seen the
Yeah.
burned buildings. I have seen the destruction
Yeah.
that Ireland went through, and I know about the slave trade. So it's
Yeah.
very difficult to celebrate it. Gina Yashere posted on her Instagram something that was within, reasonable perspective on it too. And it's like, we're not in a day and age where we're talking about Santa Claus like he's real.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We got it. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100.
Meanwhile, that idiot's going to be king. And if you
He
if
is
you've ever watched,
already.
yeah, I know. If you ever watch The Crown, you're like, what an asshole.
He did. Do you see the thing where he tells the guy there? It was going
Yeah.
around. He was like, "Come on, there's too many crumbs on the table. Like the thing is not set up for me."
No,
Yeah,
no, I
it's
did not
just
see that.
And yeah,
All
oh,
I
it
know
was
is he
pretty
murdered
bad.
his wife. Thank
You
you.
didn't say it. I didn't say that. You didn't say it.
I was gonna
Evelyn,
get-
I think it's a really good time to go into some
I
reviews.
think
We have
that's a
some
good
good
idea
ones
too.
this
I
week,
wish you was
right?
better
we had
prepared.
some really good ones. Yeah, so this one first was actually from a direct message that Marina received from someone named Monica Jack, who said, "Hi, Marina. I'm a fellow Chicagoan, now Houston transplant. I've been listening to your podcast maybe since 2019. I wanted to let you know you are amazing. The last couple of podcast episodes have had absolutely astounding and intelligent guests and conversations. Yesterday's podcast was so informative." So that was a lovely, lovely review. Then we've also got on Twitter from Devin Nixon, who said, "Incredible conversation, the honesty, the vulnerability, the truth. Ms. Franklin, I hope you never downplay this work or platform, all the way from the Pacific Northwest. Thank you." And then from Naisha Wright on Twitter, who said, "Love this episode. Every time I listen to Friends Like Us, I leave feeling nurtured, nourished, healed, enlightened, uplifted, encouraged, empowered. I could go on and on and on. So refreshing and real, down to earth. Thank you, Marina, for sharing your friends with us." So a lot of really lovely reviews this week.
Yeah, they were it was really good. The comments were coming back on Twitter so amazing that I was proud. I was proud of the episodes because sometimes it's hard to keep it going in the summer.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
be
sure.
honest, booking people is difficult. Everyone's out, going online is hard for people. It reminds them of the pandemic, so getting them to do virtual is difficult. But we've had the one we had about diet culture and how that is rooted in systemic racism. I never put those two together.
What?
Yeah.
Diet culture?
Yeah, like I always
Racism?
thought of diet culture as being just a white woman's problem.
I don't understand.
Well, listen to the episode on Friends
right.
Like
I
Us, and
believe
you'll
I
get
will.
more. But shaming mostly, like shaming people for eating chicken. You know how they say black people just eat fried chicken?
They do.
Watch your mouth. That whole thing.
So funny you knew exactly. You know me so well.
Everyone eats fried chicken or like watermelon.
Watermelon.
That whole thing. And also telling people to, if you tell people
But
to eat better, but you don't take into account that where they live is food deserts. And more importantly, what she said, which is very important, it's important you hear this, Juskow. I see you ready to flap your yap. This is really important, that we all know that eating right is good. And I'm one of those people. I always preach to eat well. But in the meantime, which is what her book is going to be about, or the book she was referencing, in the meantime, people have to do what they have to do. So you don't want to shame people. Like if you see a mother going to McDonald's to feed her children because that's all she has the time for or the money for, you don't want to be out there looking at her like, "Oh my God, why are you taking your kids to McDonald's?" That's real food shaming, not food shaming to like some white girl in the suburbs who doesn't, real food shaming is a white girl in a poor neighborhood who doesn't have time to feed her kids the right way. That's really what they're talking about. And also another thing, like I always talk about the farmers market, but I never consider the fact that there are people who don't have the money, who can't afford the farmers market. Cash is a new way now that they're separating people who are poor from people who have money. People who have cash, when they say we don't want your cash, they're also getting rid of people who don't have money. today, I mean, 2 weeks ago at the farmer's market, I saw a woman going through the line, and she had her is it EBIT? It's like it's food stamps.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So the farmers market that I go to, they actually take food stamps so that, people in the
that's great.
community who can't afford those prices can walk through that farmers market without feeling any shame or embarrassment, and get the nutrients they need. And
Yeah.
that really was discussed in that episode. So if you didn't know, the Friends Like Us podcast, it's one of my favorite episodes. Definitely listen to it. All right, Juskow, now what ignorant thing you got?
Well, I was going to say what you're saying. Said I didn't think it was racist, but dieting is definitely for the rich, because it is very expensive to eat healthy, and that's why I mean, yes, are they delicious? And am I a fast food junkie? Absolutely, and now they're not cheap anymore. Like I think Mister was saying, or somebody, Venus Boys 3 said it. McDonald's ain't cheap. It's not that cheap anymore. But sometimes they have deals, and I think that's when you always see the those women feeding their family that way. If you can get 2 for 1 Big Macs or something. But it's really difficult to eat healthy for me because it was always very expensive. Even getting like a poke bowl or something that I consider healthy for me, the way I eat, because I eat horribly, is very pricey. And lunches are very pricey, when I work and stuff. I mean, I got, this job that I have, I get free breakfast and lunch, and it's been saving some money, which is nice. And I have a balanced meal. They always have vegetables with whatever they're serving or something. But before that, I was eating lunches that were really bad, at those horrible Chinese places, the ones, the buffets, that are just all bad for you. The meats can't be good. They can't be grade A or whatever they are.
Evelyn, now I saw you shaking your head a lot when I was talking about that. Do you talk about that a lot? Or
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like I am also like similarly where it was only like a few years ago where I learned that like systemic racism and like diet culture and like fat phobia are all very much intertwined. But yeah, I mean, I think also part of it comes from the fact that like the ideal, quote unquote, ideal body type very much comes from like European standards. And so it's not just that like it's more subtle than just saying like in our culture like white skin is more beautiful than like darker skin. It's things like just like different body types are valued more than others as well. So yeah, no, I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah, and
I learned a
shaming
lot.
someone for being like Lizzo, a lot of there's been some comments from comedians about Lizzo. Like, first of all, like when you shame a woman's body, you don't know what she's going through, and her celebration of that size is actually really important for women who are that size.
But
Yeah.
isn't there something about that? Now, I agree, people are definitely fat shaming her, right? And you gotta love the fact that she don't give a shit and she is working it, and it's awesome. But isn't there a couple of people that are just kind of worried because she's overweight?
This is the point. This is the point we're trying to say, is that when specifically with Black women, if you're going to comment on her weight health wise, you have to understand the history of food deserts, like what I was just talking about, the ability to find good foods, the ability to eat in a certain way is systemically racist, right? It's not, so you can't just talk about that and not talk about the real issues in America for people who can't afford. And
But she
there
can
are
afford.
people, there are people who, like her, who are that size because they have medical conditions. They have to take medicine. Okay. So like when you talk to someone about like, food, you don't know if they have, like, for example, my sister had lupus. You met Ashley. Ashley had lost a lot of weight, but when she was bigger, it was because of the medication. It made, there was nothing she could do. If she didn't take that medication, she could die. So when you're food shaming them, you are also putting into their head, maybe don't take your medication. So
Yeah.
it's loaded. It's loaded when you talk to someone about their weight. You got to really take into consideration that there is so much going on. While I'm saying that, I just wanted to re-emphasize that Beckham, this is what he said that day,
Bye,
because
Catalina.
it's been sticking with me. Oh, bye, Catalina. See you later. I thought by coming at 2 a.m. it was going to be a little bit quieter. He goes, I was wrong. Everybody had that in mind.
Wow.
He goes, difficult for the nation and for the world. But he said that he and others in line had also been celebrating and telling stories, as well as noshing on sandwiches, donuts, and Pringles. So that's the word, noshing.
Well, noshing, isn't that more of a Jewish Yiddish term?
Is it?
Yeah, well, Beckham's Jewish.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What are you
He's-
talking about?
No,
Now you're
no.
just talking crazy.
No, so
Nobody
his,
that good looking is Jewish.
well,
Except for
it's
you.
okay. So his maternal grandfather was Jewish.
Really?
And he like grew up, who was like, his grandfather was the one who inspired him to become like a soccer player. And he spent a lot of time growing up with him. And so he didn't like grow up super, super Jewish. But like his son Brooklyn recently got married and there was a chuppah and he was wearing kippahs and stuff.
No way.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know. No, he's like one person you don't really know is Jewish, but yeah.
Wow, noshing. Thanks for educating me. I was thinking it was like an arrogant British term.
Yeah, no, it's Yiddish. It just, I don't know exactly. It's just like snacking.
And when they wrote that, I was like, what? Who be noshing?
It does sound very kind of posh, I think.
Now that I wouldn't mind shaming. Don't be noshing. Don't be noshing on no chips. Oh, I will say like this, I'm in my quarantine still until tomorrow's my last day. I mean, today is officially really my last day. I've been in since Tuesday. Tuesday.
Are you gonna test again before you go out?
Yeah, well, I have to go out to get the test. I have to.
You go out to, you're getting a take-home test.
I had to go out to get the test, and I had to go I actually had to go and get these pills. So that's why I'm saying, like, wear your mask, because, and there was someone in line that was getting on my nerves.
Well, Marina,
I was like, you don't know how much power I have right now, motherfucker.
I can ruin
Marina,
your
yesterday
week.
I went to get aspirin and it is all locked up. And I don't know if you guys know, but here in New York, they lock up.
They lock it up
now
everywhere.
In a drugstore. And you have to press a button and pray that somebody's going to come. And when they do come, they're angry that they have to come there and open it. It's a disaster just going into a drugstore these days. They lock up the ice cream.
I heard someone, they were like, I'm trying to get something out. Hey, anybody?
Yeah, people start yelling, and the people who work there are just miserable and angry. If you go in New Jersey, nothing's locked up. That's why I've been shopping there lately. Only here. It's
no
really
locks in TV.
Yeah.
No locks in Oregon. Oh, interesting. Well, there must not be any. They just said crime is on the rise. Mayor Adams promised he would take it down, but it is way up. We just had a burglary.
If you got to lock up ice cream, there's a problem in the city.
They're locking up ice
They're
cream?
locking up. Yes.
What kind?
Everything. They locked the freezer up.
Oh my gosh.
Right at the CVS on 53rd and Lex. I couldn't believe it. I talked to the security person. I'm like, you guys are locking up ice cream? They're like, you don't understand. It's bad. Like midnight. I was like, do you just lock it up at midnight? They're like, no, we lock it up all day long.
Look, Elizabeth is like, Marina, you've been such an example all these months. Avoided it so far. Been so careful, but just you know what? It's possible you could still not get it. Just remember the things that I did that made me susceptible to it was lack of sleep. I really did not sleep, and I was on the road, and I was traveling, and I was working, and I was exhausted, and I had a mask that I had been wearing for a while, so those things contributed to even a person like myself who's been very good. I slacked. So that's what happened. I'm not gonna lie. It's not that I didn't wear a mask. I was wearing a mask, but I wasn't wearing a good one. So it's hard. I mean, it's in the habits of this. You've got to keep up, and it is a marathon. It's not a. I love that analogy.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a marathon, baby.
It's not a sprint.
So we do. It's a marathon. I gotta say this. Since I've been home, I've been watching. Let's do this before we go out. What are you watching? Because that's all I'm doing. Because I'm inside. I'm just watching movies, and I just watched that Titan thing.
Oh, remember the Titans?
The Thor. I mean Thor.
Oh, I just watched that too. I watched it last night. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Look at the different reactions. It was so bad. The humor is so crappy.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, no. I mean, there's parts of it that I have fun with. Like I like when he took off his clothes.
Oh my God.
But the jokes.
The girls were like, oh.
Yeah, no. The jokes were on par of Airplane.
Yeah. But that's isn't that good that they make one superhero movie like that? Like the other ones are so serious.
I just really
they chose Thor to do it with. I think that's kind of brilliant.
Yeah,
this is the fourth movie.
Don't tell me. I didn't watch the rest. I'm watching it in parts because I get grossed out every.
The third one's really fun. Jeff Goldblum's in it. Your boy.
In which one?
The third one.
In Thor.
Ragnarok. Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he plays like the villain, right?
Yeah, but a fun villain.
Wait, in this one, the recent one?
No, the third one.
I can't go back. I can't do it.
I saw
those screaming goats. It just
that was annoying. That was bothering my head.
It makes me angry.
But it was also funny.
It's funny for the first, and then it's also like Christian Bale. That's who's playing the villain, right?
I didn't know that. I was amazed when I saw.
Because I know his teeth. His teeth are very distinctive. He's got his teeth. I could get him in a lineup with those teeth. But I mean, they're
I didn't recognize him at all, and I didn't know that was Gerard Butler or whatever his name is.
He's got that weird.
Oh yeah.
But his acting is amazing in it. His acting does stand out, and I love him. But the rest of it, the jokes, I can't. It was too corny for me. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't. I have to stop. Okay, and then so what are you guys watching?
I have started watching the show on Hulu called Welcome to Wrexham. It's the docu-series where Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, they buy this Welsh football club that's really bad, and they're trying to make it better. Their marketing is kind of like a real life Ted Lasso type situation. So I've been watching it so far, and that's been pretty good.
Did you watch the Emmys?
I did watch the Emmys. Actually enjoyed the bits that they wrote for Kenan Thompson to do were not enjoyable, but I felt like everyone won the awards they were supposed to, except I think Abbott Elementary should have won best comedy show instead of Ted Lasso.
Oh, She-Hulk is awesome TV. She-Hulk is fun. Have you
Is that what you're watching?
Yeah, it's great.
I've heard good things.
It's fun. I saw the new Sylvester Stallone superhero movie called Samaritan, and that's awful. But nobody would watch that here, but it's awful. But that She-Hulk's pretty good.
I did watch some of She-Hulk, and then I was like, I don't have my nieces here to enjoy it with me.
Oh,
I feel like this would be something that I should watch with my little niece.
Now, you guys have or have not watched Never Have I Ever, which is the greatest.
I watched it, and it made me also very angry. But I watched it with Isis, who forced me to watch it. It's real. No, I do like it. I think it will be nominated. But the fingers. Don't tell anyone, because I guess that's would ruin the surprise. Never have I ever. No, I'm thinking of Everyone Everywhere at Once.
Oh yeah, that one.
How's that?
I've heard really good things about that one.
Yeah, me too.
You haven't seen it?
Oh, my friends were watching Samaritan, mixed reviews. No, it's awful. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so low budget and the kid in it is the worst actor. I'm talking to Venus Boys 3.
Hey, Venus Boys, how are you?
I watched Marcel the Shell. last week because it's finally, I don't go to movie theaters anymore, so it's finally streaming, and it's so cute.
Wait,
and
which
it's
one?
very
Which one?
Marcel the Shell with shoes on. It's this.
Oh,
So it's this voice that Jenny
Right,
Slate started doing as like a character. That's just like this tiny little shell named Marcel. And originally, she started doing it in like 2011 and was like a short like YouTube film, and then they made it into this big film this year, and it was really cute and funny, and also like very heartfelt. So I definitely recommend Marcel the Shell.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna check that
Yeah, it's
out.
good.
I'm trying to think what else I watched that was. I'm watching Game of Thrones.
Oh,
But that's
interesting.
I gotta watch it series to series. Like, and I'll be honest with you, it was a little disturbing last week. I mean, like when I was waking up, I fell asleep on it, and I woke up and I was like, "Is that someone having sex with a kid?" Just to give you a little.
Oh,
Yes,
That's all right. That's what they
yes.
did back then. It's all right.
What?
That's what are you gonna do?
I mean, that is the reality of. But I'm not.
I never seen that show. I don't like medieval stuff because of that kind
do
of
it.
stuff.
Hello, Mr. Palta, too, on our Twitch. We never get people talking to us on Twitch. So,
Mm.
how are you? I hope you're sane and normal. Usually, when people watch us on Twitch, they say moronic things. So, and now that I've
Yeah.
said this, you're probably going to say something moronic, but nice to see you. We are getting out, unfortunately. But just so you know, those of you who are still here, we do this every Saturday when we are in town to talk about my podcast. It's called Friends Like Us. It's a great podcast that features, women of color. Once a month we have a white, like a period, and or we have or a guy. We have a guy actually coming on a couple of times this month because it's a heavy flow. So check out that podcast. Check out my podcast, and we are so grateful to promote it here on YouTube Live with my white friends. See what I do here? Evelyn, tell our listeners or tell our viewers
They never
where
gave
they
me
can
one, Liz.
where they can find you, and tell them where your show is on the 28th.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Evelyn G. Frick. And yeah, I do have a show coming up that I'm hosting. It's at Caveat in New York City, September 28th at 9:30. We have a really great lineup. You can get tickets. I think they're $10 on Caveat's website. And there is also a live streaming option. So if you're not based in New York, you can still watch. So yeah, I have that, and then I just had a satire piece come out in the Weekly Humorist, so you can read it there.
Wonderful. You should put that in the chat box where that caveat is.
If you have a chance. I don't think it lets me put in the chat.
You can write a message. You
Yeah,
just hit the chat button.
It only lets me read them. It doesn't let me. Yeah.
You can't. Juskow's always talking.
Yeah, but I go through Facebook to do it.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Is it caveat? I'll do it for you. How do you spell it?
Caveat near NYC.
Caveat is spelled how? K-A-V-E-A-T.
C-A-V-E-A-T. Yeah.
That's what I have. NYC.com.
Yeah.
Okay. For Evelyn show. Even though I'm not on it, but I'm only 12%. I gotta be 15. I gotta be 15% Ashkenazi.
Oh, it's a Jewish show, Evelyn?
Yeah, it's for the Jewish high holidays.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
it's all
that's the day after
Jewish.
Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, we did that intentionally so it didn't line like it. People won't be at services.
Nice. Juskow's very happy about that because
Yeah.
she's very religious, very spiritual. All right, go Jusky.
Oh, well, I have the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show this Tuesday with Colin Smith. He's going to play some music. We'll be at the Comedy Cellar, upstairs in the podcast room live. And the week after that, Dino Stamatopoulos will be joining us from Community and from many other things, Mr. Show, the Ben Stiller Show, all those kind of things. And that should be super fun. Other than that, the Billy Joel A to Z podcast and Juskow in the City. All for you if you join Patreon on the Dave Juskow Network.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. Thank you both. And it's a reminder that if you are a Patreon friend for friends like us, you get to watch us record backstage. We only have a limited spot of 3, so don't walk, run. I love having things I can say like that. All right, guys, wash your hands still. Wear your mask because there's
Buffet.
people out there not like me who don't care about you. So wear it. And Black Lives Matter. Oh,
Good night,
I should.
everybody.
Let me do a. Yay!
Have it ready.